Guess who's back? Back again. Mikey's back. Tell a friend. Hey everybody, here we are with another video for you guys today. We're going to be playing some retro 80s playback of NBA 2K23 on the Nintendo Switch. But before we go any further, let me just say, if you like this video or any of the videos on the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're a really big fan of the content, you can head over to Mikey J Productions and become a member. We have a great community we're building over there, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. But let's get into retro 80s playback of NBA 2K23 on the Nintendo Switch after the intro coming in.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
America! Demand
JP!
I want
MJP!
I want my
MJP!
I want my
MJP!
Call your cable company and say I want my
MJP!
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party
In
started.
our first matchup of the week, we have the Phoenix Suns going into Detroit to face off against the Detroit Pistons. Big matchup here. The game starts with Mikey J taking it to the hole with a nice drive off the glass. Good layup by him, and we end the first quarter with the Pistons up 24-15 over the Suns. Good start by Detroit, and Phoenix is looking in trouble so far in this one. And then we start the second quarter. Tom Chambers with the alley-oop. Great play there by the big man. And then Isaiah Thomas taking it strong to the rack. Nice two-handed jam by Zeke. And we go into halftime with the Pistons up 46-37 over the Suns in Detroit. Good first half by the Pistons.
Detroit finds themselves ahead after two quarters. They have a 9-point lead. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
They're going to work in the paint. Doing a great job. A good portion of their offense was generated inside. Really outperformed their opponent in that aspect. I expect the defense to back it in a little more in the second half and try to force those guys to stay outside.
Kenny, your take on Phoenix.
Well, it's never fun. When you're playing against a team that's on fire. This team was on fire. They showed effort on defense, but it didn't matter. They couldn't get the stops. I don't think the opponent could sustain this kind of shooting.
Now we start the third quarter with Isaiah Thomas taking it to the rack. Nice layup, heavily guarded. Great play by him. And look at this rejection by Rick Mahorn on Tom Chambers. Going up for the three, and Mahorn is all over it. Says none of that weak crap here in the Motor City. Get that out of here, Tom. Try again. And then Isaiah Thomas with the drive to the hole, taking it up the nice two-handed jam for him. And we end the third quarter with the Pistons on the roll, up 72-58 over Phoenix, giving it to the Suns here in Detroit. Can Phoenix make a comeback and make this game close, or is Detroit going to run away with this one? And we start the fourth quarter with Vinnie Johnson with the nice drive to the hole, looking to get that Sixth Man of the Year award. And here comes Mikey J taking it to the rack with a big one-handed jam by him. And our New Balance player of the game is none other than Mikey J. Here he is with the three. Here he is finding Isaiah with the pass. Just great all-around play. Here's another three. Just great game all around by Mikey J in this one, and the Pistons go on to win, running away with this one. Big win at home, and they come out 98-72 over Phoenix. And let's take a look at the box score. Mikey J had 33 points and 12 boards, 3 assists. Isaiah Thomas had 25 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists out of him. Vinnie Johnson had 16 big points off the bench, trying to get his Sixth Man of the Year award. Kelly Tripucka had 12 points as well. Solid game out of him. Bill Laimbeer had 4 points and 8 boards in this one. decent enough game, and DJ Deck had 3 off the bench. For Phoenix, Tom Chambers had 20 points and 3 rebounds. Walter Davis had 16 points and 6 assists. Alvin Adams had 11 points and 9 rebounds. Charlie Scott, the other 6th Man of the Year contender, had 10 points and 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Dennis Johnson had 6 points for the Suns, and the rest of the Suns players just didn't do enough to get it close here. And elsewhere, we have San Antonio getting the victory at home over the Washington Wizards. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves beating Toronto at home. We have the Portland Trailblazers going into Sacramento and getting the big road victory over the Kings. We have the Dallas Mavericks getting a close victory at home against the Wizards. We have the Atlanta Hawks losing a tough one in Miami. We have the New York Knicks going into Toronto and getting the victory over the Raptors. We have the Milwaukee Bucks getting the big victory over the New Jersey Nets on the road. The Los Angeles Clippers go into Dallas and get the big road victory there. The Houston Rockets get a nice road victory against the Orlando Magic. And the Los Angeles Lakers stay strong at home and defeat the Golden State Warriors. The Minnesota Timberwolves get the 1-point victory over the Seattle Supersonics in Seattle. We have the San Antonio Spurs going into Phoenix and getting a blowout victory over the Suns. Big victory for the Spurs. And then our next game, we have the Chicago Bulls going into Golden State to play the Golden State Warriors. And here's a look at the starting lineups here. And the game starts with Michael Jordan taking it to the rack. Nice drive. Nice layup for him. Reggie Theus is up next. Nice two-handed jam by Reggie Theus. And our AT&T 5G Slam Cam, here's Jordan with the nice two-handed dunk here. Nice strong finish by his airness. And look at this rejection from Brad Sellers. Get it out of here. Just beating it off the glass. Nice strong rejection for him. And we end the first quarter with the Bulls up 27-23. And the start of the second quarter, look at this nice alley-oop by Nate Thurmond. And here comes Jordan again. Nice two-handed jam here. And we go into halftime with the Bulls up 50-36 over the Warriors in Golden State. The Bulls are on a rampage and blowing them out.
It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They trailed by as many as 6 points in the first period. The second quarter got a lot more exciting for them as they were putting up big numbers and find themselves way out in front here at the half. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Down in the paint, they're doing everything right, seeking out high percentage looks. So far, the defense hasn't had any answer for that. And we'll see if those adjustments that the coaches are making at halftime work.
And Shaq, what do you have to say about the Warriors?
Their allowance was through the roof. The coach should absolutely be ripping into the defensive effort. We need to take some pride on the other end and just lock it in, lock it in, lock it in.
We start the third quarter. Here comes Jordan taking it to the rack. A nice drive, nice layup for him. And then look at this rejection by Bill Cartwright. Good defense out of him. Finally doing something after getting rejected in the last game again by John Stockton. Good recovery by Bill Cartwright there. And we end the third quarter. The Bulls go on a tear and are up 77-44 over Golden State in Golden State. And the Bulls just sit their starters in most of the fourth quarter, and they go on to win this game in a complete rout, 97-61 over Golden State. Let's take a look at the box scores. Nate Thurmond had a decent game, 16 points and 7 boards. But the rest of the Warriors just didn't do much of anything. And in all honesty, we needed a bigger game out of Nate Thurmond, considering he's an MVP candidate in this one, and just didn't get it. And Jordan had 37 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. And Harvey Houston had a huge game off the bench for the Bulls with 21 points. Reggie Theus had 18. Again, the Bulls sat most of their starters for the fourth quarter here. John Paxson had 12 points. George Gervin had 4 points. It was Craig Hodges had 3. It was good play time for the Bulls bench in this one, and it shows in the box scores. And then elsewhere in the NBA, we have the Toronto Raptors getting the home victory over the Charlotte Hornets. Good victory at home for them. We have the Milwaukee Bucks going into New York and getting the victory over the Knicks. We have the New Jersey Nets losing in Phoenix to the Suns. We have the Sacramento Kings getting the home victory over the San Antonio Spurs. We have the Bulls Squirts losing to the Miami Heat in Miami. And the Portland Trail Blazers hold strong at home and get the victory over the San Antonio Spurs. Big home victory for them. And the New York Knicks lose at home to the Phoenix Suns. Big road victory for the Suns there. The Boston Celtics go into Charlotte and blow out the Hornets. No real surprise there. Good win for Boston. Larry Bird was strong in this one. And the Denver Nuggets get the close victory on the road over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then our final matchup of the week, we have the Vancouver Grizzlies going into Chicago to face the Bulls. Here's the starting lineups. And early in the game, Michael Jordan gets rejected. What? Good play on defense by the Grizzlies. Good play by their big man. But all that did was make Jordan mad in this one. And here's Reggie Theus taking it to the rack. Nice drive by him. And here comes Jordan trying to get some revenge. Nice two-handed jam there. And here comes Jordan once again. Nice clutch jam there. And we end the first quarter. It's fairly close, 17-23 in Chicago. Can the Grizzlies hang with the Bulls at home? And throughout the rest of the game, only time will tell. And we start the second quarter. Jordan had taken to the rack. Nice drive by him. And look at this play by Jordan, getting his revenge for getting blocked earlier. Just dunking right on him. All up in his face. Great play by his airness. And we go into halftime with the Bulls up 46-32 over the Grizzlies at home. It's a little closer than expected.
Chicago holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They lead by 14. Kenny, what's your viewpoint?
Credit these guys for coming in with the right game plan and then patiently executing. Most of their shots have come in the flow of the offense. Rarely did they take a bad shot. Good, clean first half.
Shaq, your take on Memphis.
They're getting abused in the paint defensively, letting their opponents set the tone. Can't match up physically, you're toast. And that's what the scoreboard is reflecting right now. Toast with butter.
And we start the third quarter with Jordan taking it to the rack. Nice finger roll drive by his airness there. And then look at this jam by Jordan. Let's look at that again. Rocking the baby to sleep. Again, getting some revenge for that block earlier. And then here comes Jordan once again. Nice jam there. And here comes Jordan again, just dominating in this third quarter. Nice two-handed jam. And he's just all over the place in the third quarter. Just highlight after highlight here. Just taking it to the Grizzlies. And we end the third quarter. The Bulls go on a huge run. And they are up 79-39 over the Grizzlies. Dominant quarter by Chicago and Michael Jordan specifically. The Grizzlies are toast. And we start the fourth quarter with Reggie Theus taking it to the rack. Nice drive off the glass for him. And here's another good play by Reggie Theus. Nice one-handed jam there. And here comes Jordan again. Look at that dunk. We're going to have to look at this one again. Just in your face. Boom. And that pretty much wraps it up. The Bulls go on to win, blowing out the Grizzlies at home with the 109-56 victory. Huge blowout victory for them. Let's take a look at the box score. Jordan had 53 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals. Great game by his airness. Reggie Theus was also strong with 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists. Good game by him. Harvey Houston was also strong off the bench with 14 points and 5 rebounds. He's really been coming along lately. John Paxson was strong off the bench. George Gervin was decent for the Bulls here. And Bill Cartwright actually got 4 points and 11 rebounds. Brad Sellers, he struggled a bit in this one. And for the Grizzlies, really not much to say here. This team really is just a hodgepodge team and don't really belong on the same court with the Bulls. And let's take a look at the most valuable player race. Jordan is running away with the MVP, 51 points per game. Dr. J is up there as well, followed by Magic Johnson. A Rookie of the Year, Jordan's got this on lock, of course, with Elijah Wan, John Stockton, Charles Barkley. And our Sixth Man of the Year, we got Charlie Scott for Phoenix and Vinnie Johnson in a close race battling it out for that Sixth Man of the Year. That's the one to watch. And Defensive Player Michael Ray Richardson is the front runner on this one, surprisingly. Let's take a look at our NBA All-Stars as of right now. And again, no Pistons are on the Eastern team as of right now. And the fact that Mikey J is absent is just shocking to me. Let's take a look at our Players of the Week. Mikey J's got one of recent, so has Jordan. Larry Bird's also gotten a Player of the Week of late. Our Players of the Month, Jordan has gotten them both weeks, both months. And here's a look at the Eastern Conference playoffs. Pistons, Bulls, 76ers, Miami Heat, Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, New Jersey Nets, Atlanta Hawks make up the top 8 as of now, with the other teams falling behind. In the West, you got the Lakers, Nuggets, Trailblazers, Suns, Jazz, Clippers, Seattle, and Minnesota Timberwolves creeping in there as well in the Western Conference. And let's take a look at the power rankings. The Pistons have recaptured the number 1 spot in the NBA power rankings, followed by the Lakers, and the Bulls are down in 3rd. So still got the Lakers in the mix there. And let's take a look at the team stats. Mikey J is averaging 28.7 points per game. And Isaiah Thomas is averaging 25.9 points per game, or 23.9, excuse me. Kelly Tripucka is averaging 11.7. And Vinnie Johnson's averaging 10 points off the bench. Bill Laimbeer is getting 6.5 points per game. DJ Deck is getting 6 points off the bench. And John Sally's averaging 2.5 points off the bench. And James Edwards is getting 1.5 off the bench. And then now let's take a look at rebounds. Bill Laimbeer's leading the team at 9.8 boards per game. Mikey J is in second with 8.6 rebounds per game. James Edwards is getting 4.7 boards per game off the bench. John Sally's getting 4.5 rebounds off the bench. Rick Mahorn is getting 3.8 rebounds as a starter. Kelly Tripucka is getting 3.4 rebounds per game. That's good for him. As assists, Isaiah leads the team at 3.5 assists per game, followed by Kelly Tripucka at 2.7, Vinnie Johnson at 2, Mikey J at 1.9, Bill Laimbeer at 1.5, Rick Mahorn at 1.5. And now let's move on to steals. Mikey J is almost averaging a steal per game at 0.9. And the rest of the team, it's not really worth talking about a whole lot as far as the steals go. They're not doing so hot, but, you know, it is what it is. They're, we need to pick it up on the steals, clearly. Now let's move over to blocks. Mikey J leads the team at 1.2 blocks per game, followed by Bill Lambier at 1. Now let's move over to the Bulls. And Jordan is averaging 51.1 points per game. Reggie Theus is averaging 19.1. Harvey Houston is coming along of late and is averaging 8.3 points per game off the bench. George Gervin is averaging 6.3 points per game as a starter. John Paxson is averaging 5 points per game off the bench. Good production out of him of late. And Craig Hodges has really had a stinker of a season, averaging 2.3 points per game off the bench. Really needed more out of him. Dave Corzine has been a solid backup center at 1.7. Brad Sellers 1.3 as a starter, and Bill Cartwright 1.1 as a starter. And now let's move over to rebounds. Bill Cartwright's actually leading the team at rebounds at 6.1 boards per game, followed by Brad Sellers at 5.6. Jordan is third at 3.9 points per game. That's pretty good production on the boards for him. Dave Corzine's average of 3.6 boards per game as a reserve. Harvey Houston's getting 3.1 boards as a reserve. Charles Davis is getting 3 rebounds per game as a reserve. Reggie Theus getting 2.3, and George Gervin 2.1. And now let's move over to assists. Reggie Theus is averaging 6.1 assists per game. Good for him. George Gervin's getting 2.7 assists. John Paxson 2.3. Bill Cartwright 2. Michael Jordan 1.8 assists per game. Could get a couple more assists out of him. Brad Sellers is averaging 1.2 assists, and Craig Hodges is stinking it up on the assist list as well. And none of the rest of the guys are really worth mentioning here. And let's move over to steals. Jordan's an average 1.7 steals per game. Not too bad. I would like to see him up closer to 2, but we'll see if we can get there by the season's end. Reggie Theus is averaging a half a steal per game. And nobody else is really worth mentioning as far as steals go on the team. And as blocks go, Brad Sellers is averaging 1.4 blocks per game. Bill Cartwright's getting a half a block. And then next week, we will see the Denver Nuggets go into Detroit to face the Pistons. Big challenge at home for the Pistons. Well, that's it. See you next week, everyone.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, we got merch store. If you want to take a little piece of the show with you, you can get it right here. We got everything. You want some Mikey J stuff? We got the Mikey J Productions for you. So take a chance and stop by. We'll take care of you.